you please state your name?
I'm Alf Carroll.
And what company are you with?
I work for Raytheon Technologies, our Raytheon Missiles and Defense business unit.
Okay. Alf, what is the value of Navy STP showcase events?
Well, first of all, it's not my first rodeo. It's not the first time I've been to events like this over the past decade or two. But I think the Navy's really upped the game. And if I was just to list off a couple of the key benefits for Raytheon, it would be as follows. First off, listening and speaking and kind of dialoguing with the SBR innovators, just kind of rapping with them as an engineer, kind of engineer to engineer. I think that's number one. And during that conversation, discovering, and this is what I try to seek for Raytheon, discovering other use cases or other con-ops where that technology might be useful for some other purpose. Why? No, you might wonder why I'm saying some other purpose. The SBRs that are developed are aligned toward a certain program of record or a certain gap or need the Navy has. Once in a while, those are Raytheon programs that those are targeted on, but many times they're not. So that discovery conversation lets us as the prime know where we could do a pivot and take that investment and take it in maybe a second phase 2 direction perhaps to reduce risk and fill something we might be looking for at the company. And finally, this is something that I've personally done myself in the last year, but this year I'm religious about it, honestly. Right on the spot, I try to connect the small businesses through email, right on the spot, with either the Raytheon subject matter experts or members of my technologies and transition team that are all engineers who lead the connecting the dots through the organization. So we literally do it right there, not walk away with an action item that gets put on some monster list and we forget the moment. So I'll literally do that. And last night even, there were so many businesses that I wanted to talk to. Some of them stayed at 2 hours late last night, and we finished it at 4 o'clock. The event ended at 2.
SBIR technology helps primes leapfrog forward, true?
Yes, it can. As long as our supplier innovation teams, they call it the SI team, which is centered in supply chain, but staffed by a few engineers, and our technologies and transition team, which is all engineering, can really collaborate faster within our own company. So yes, it can help us leapfrog forward, and it should, but our team's job is to proliferate that message a lot more quickly and have it sink in more rapidly, because everyone at our company, as many people in America are triply tasked with many duties. So yes, it does. But if we can't propagate it out quickly, the messages with our own organization, that's what's holding us back from really leapfrogging, and we're working at that. But I see that as team sport with Navy STP teammates here. So here I was trying to actually tap folks in the organization, and I've spoken with some of you about that, where you could help us make that go faster.
Navy SBIR technology is already vetted by the Navy. So how does that affect Raytheon and what you do?
Well, good. So the vetting process that I've seen improve again over the years, the pre-vetting that you've done of the companies, really it's quality. It's good quality. So you're filtering out, so to speak, those that might not be a good mesh for us. So I find that they're well prepared. And they can engage us pretty quickly. In past years, again, I've been doing this for a couple decades now. This kind of stuff as a geeky technologist. It's evolved so much from when you used to sit there and there'd be this science conversation about basic physics, and it took like 10 or 15 minutes to get to the point. So right now, the vetting actually helps that. It's a more efficient process.
So how does being a part of the SBIR, the technology that's part of SBIR, how is it advantageous?
Yep. So if the relationships with the small business and our folks, and many times the SBIR sponsors and TPOCs, if that tech and that relationship and tech maturity can come along quickly, and you can get the tech maturity up the TRL ladder quickly, then the competitive advantage can be realized. And finally, the whole contracting process to do, say, extra SBIR, that has to be quick, more quickly, get done quickly, and it's getting better, really getting better.
Okay. And tell us about the robust relationships between small businesses, primes, and the Department of the Navy.
Well, these events are great for that because Zoom calls just don't cut it. There's nothing like real collaboration where you're really seeing, thinking, sketching, maybe waving your hands, maybe seeing facial reactions. That's a key way that this is so much better. And I think the Navy's done an outstanding job. I love working with the Navy SBR team and the STP team.